You can still get your life back. Get your life back. It's real. Get your life back. Get your life back.
Hey guys, I'm at another angle today. I think it's been about 2 weeks since I uploaded a long form video, but that's okay. I've still been trying to upload some things for you guys anyway that are very helpful. So to those of you who are new, my name is Cheryl Howard. I am a certified life purpose coach, a mental health professional. I am a speaker, an author, and a couple of things, right? Multi-talented, multi-purposeful, and I say that humbly. And a lot of you are too, but you just don't know it. And so that's what I teach people in my Purpose Passion Finder workshop. I have the workbook and the workshop, but also I have a course on how to discover and market your brand, your purpose, and your passion. That's either on udemy.com or you can go to the Get Your Life Back Academy, and all the links are in the description box. So, okay, we got that out the way, housekeeping. Anyway, so I'm so excited because some of you guys who've been following me, you know that I have been doing challenges, and the challenges are to either enhance your quality of life. They all do overall. Improve your relationships, improve your mindset, heal emotionally, so you can operate in your passion and in your purpose. So my whole motto is I'm here to help you overcome barriers so you can propel into your purpose. Because a lot of things that we carry, like trauma, the effects of trauma, mindset blocks, unhelpful thinking, poor communication, all these things in unhealed areas, they keep popping up in some of our lives, right? We all have moments, but we need to work through those moments. And if we are not aware of those things happening, we will see ourselves in the same cycle of poor relationships. And when I say relationships, I'm not just talking about intimate or marital. I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about professional. I'm talking about parental, all types of relationships. And if you really became introspective of yourself and became self-aware, you will notice certain behaviors that seem to pop up no matter where you go or what type of relationships you try to form. These issues, and I like how the Bible puts it, out of the heart flows the issues of life. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So that's really deep, and we need to pay attention to that, because a lot of things that come out of our mouth and out of our behavior are the issues, the underlying, the undercurrent that keeps getting us into trouble and sabotaging like a lot of things in our life, even when it comes to work or business, all kinds of things, right? So I help people with all of those things as a certified life purpose coach, and a mental health coach, and a pastoral counselor, okay, and a speaker. So I do workshops. I do workshops locally in different programs, communities, shelters. I volunteer twice at a women's transitional house for women who've been, through homelessness or sexually abused, or just different situations, or just need to get back on their feet. I've been there before. Okay, I've been in a transitional house before when I needed to get myself back together after losing my apartment because the floor caved in. I'm on unemployment now. I don't have, that was in New York. So I didn't have like $3,000 to find the next apartment saved up. I'm on unemployment. I was probably getting 200 or something a week. I don't even know. It wasn't a lot of money. And in New York at that time, let's see, a decent apartment. At that time, you can get something between 800 and 15 for like a 1 or 2 bedroom. It all depends, right? What neighborhood you want to live in. So I always tried to live in decent neighborhoods after my divorce with my daughter. And so if an apartment is 1,500, that means I need 3,000 or 4,500 to actually move in, depending on if they want 1 month's rent or 2 months rent security, and then the 1 month's rent. So things were tight. But when it first started, I'll say rent was average for 1 bedroom between like it's 800 and 1,200. Okay. But anyway, that's just a little bit of my story. I got a whole lot of that, but you have to become a subscriber, right? A follower. You have to hit the bell so you get notifications of new uploads. And then I want you to really peruse my whole podcast, the whole channel. You will find a lot of things on there I'm sure can help you or somebody you know. Today, this challenge is coming up. I want to talk about it. This is just a prelude or prelude, however you pronounce that, of the challenge that I have coming up. Look at the other challenges I had recently. This one is on communication. Oh my God. It pains me when I'm in a conundrum. No, when I'm in this debate with certain people that I realize they're emotionally dysregulated. And I'm not saying this thinking I'm perfect at communication. I've just been working on myself for years. And that's an area I feel we all need to continue to work on until the day of Christ. You can just get better and improve. And I never talk about perfecting something. I'm talking about a lot about being aware of what you're doing, how it's affecting and impacting other people, so you can correct it. So you can go, oh, my bad. That wasn't right. Let me analyze. Let me see where that came from. Why am I feeling this way? So it's just about being self-aware. And being self-aware is the beginning of growth and wisdom and growing and learning, because then you can pull back, check yourself, right? Work on something and just get better at it. And so this is the area I feel that is majorly important to work on constantly, because it causes sabotaging of relationships. Poor communication is bad in every area, every environment, work, religious, I mean, every area, parental. And so I say, you know what? I need to do a challenge, because I'm here to help people. I'm here to serve. And I want to give some strategies to help you if you battle with poor communication skills. That's either you expressing yourself and you have a hard time expressing yourself because of whatever trauma you've gone through or any deficits you feel you have, or what's a good reason? So because of trauma, your perception of things, the way you read things, a lot of times you may find it, or other people may find that you're not picking up correctly. Like your thought process, your cognitive process is distorted. So you're not seeing things clearly. And when you express yourself, it's often confusing. And people like, what they say, what he said, right? And if you find that happens a lot, I don't want you to feel bad about yourself. I want you to go and do your work. So, you know what? Let me help you do your work. And this is one of the things I do all the time in my sessions, especially with those who battle with expressing themselves or finding their voice. Again, maybe something happened traumatic in your life that you lost your sense of identity, or you could not speak up for yourself. Maybe you grew up in a household with, what do you call it? Parenting styles and psychology. Authoritative is definitely one, and that's the best one, because you have a balance between having structure, right, and boundaries when you're raising your children or how your parents raise you, but you also can express yourself to your parents. And it's a nurturing environment where you feel emotionally safe. The other one is more rigid and you don't have a lot of say so. So a lot of times you grew up with a lot of fear when you live in a household with parents who are authoritarian parenting style. So in that kind of household, there's a lot of strict rules, punishment, high standards, and it's not healthy for a child's emotional state. So you'll grow up sometime with fear and insecurity because you had an authoritarian parent who didn't allow you to express yourself or talk about things. You didn't have the freedom to be a child, basically. It was like, do as I say, all those type of things, and a bunch of fear-based punishment. And so that'll cause you to grow up, if you don't know it or not, being afraid, like having this deeply rooted fear behind things. So sometimes it'll keep you from trying to achieve something because you feel like, because of insecurity, because of that, and you never feel like you're good enough or you are able to achieve certain things, you'll back out of stuff without giving it a try. You won't even try it because you'll be so hard on yourself because you had that type of parent, till you will just talk yourself out of possibilities, opportunities that are great for you. So that's why we got to go to the root of a lot of things and find out, why am I doing this? Why am I seeing things this way? So I'm going to give you some strategies, but let's talk about some of the things, because I made some notes. Some of the things I want to discuss when it comes to communication. I'm going to call this healthy talk, unhelpful thoughts, communication challenge, something like that. Okay. So let's talk about it a little bit. And I know a lot of times we have good intentions when we try to form relationships with people and when we try to express ourselves, but sometimes another person can perceive what we're saying the wrong way if we don't know how to express ourselves, because we may be emotionally dysregulated, because we may be triggered in the moment, and we have a hard time expressing ourselves when we're angry or upset or sad. And so then that's when you got to go deeper and work on the what's causing the emotions to be high or be very low, right? And then when you work on that, then you practice strategies. We're going to talk about how to regulate your nervous system so that you can learn to be calmer in the moment as much as possible. Of course, there's situations where you're upset and people getting louder and you're talking, but you still have a limit. You can catch yourself like, okay, wait, calm down. That's one strategy, right? That self-talk, that self-therapeutic talk. Cheryl, let's relax and take a breath, because right now you're about to explode and this does not warrant that type of reaction. You'll get better at doing those things. Okay. So I really want to give you strategies when it comes to that. And really, the truth is, communication is not just about words. It's about tone, interpretation of things, mindset, again, and the emotional regulation that you are expressing or operating out of at that moment. So you're learning more about you. One of the things about what we're going to talk about are those underlying things that cause you to get easily angered or easily offensive or defensive, right? There are moments when all that is warranted. But if you find yourself doing it a lot, then and then people say, oh, you're so extra too sensitive, even though that could be based on someone's opinion. Because it don't have to be that you're too sensitive. It could be something that's no, you have a standard and you don't like this, you don't like the way, and that's it. But then there's people who they don't know how to deal with, and that could be their issue. They got some stuff and they don't know how to be patient. They don't know how to be empathetic towards somebody else's issues, concerns, or expressions because of their own stuff. So it really gets deep when it comes to communication. We got to talk about it. So let's talk about, I had listed 5 common communication struggles, assumption and mind reading, because we are going to talk about those cognitive distortions. Your thinking can be off. So if your thinking and your thought process is off, then you will often perceive things off. You understand? Because you're looking through a lens that is not clear, and it is based on your life experience, and you need to be aware of that. Assumptions and mind reading, expecting others to just know what you mean without clearly expressing what you mean. Number 2, defensiveness and reactivity, right? Just talked about that a little bit. Responding out of hurt, anger, rage, instead of listening and understanding, trying to comprehend. And if your emotions are already heightened, it's very difficult for the brain on your mind to comprehend, because now you are upset, your nervous system is upset, your emotions are high, so it's going to impact your brain, and you cannot really be rational and reasonable at that moment, not with your brain and your nervous system just out of control. That's why there's such a thing as calming down. Let's try to understand. Let's do some breathing, which is another strategy, right? A lot of you know, but don't practice. It's okay. It's okay. Another one is poor emotional regulation. I kind of talked about that. Letting heightened emotions drive your response or your reaction to things. Your conversation leading to yelling, shutting down, screaming, stonewalling, isolating, all kinds of things, right? Those are negative reactions if that's your go-to all the time, because you're unable to cope with how you're feeling in the moment. So you react this way. And sometimes in psychology, we call it your age of your trauma. If there was a lot of things that were not resolved or underdeveloped emotionally at a certain age because of traumatic experiences, that 12-year-old child may appear when you're feeling uncomfortable or dysregulated. We see the 10, I could see them myself, right? I may see the 15 and 16-year-old. If I'm still battling with abandonment issues, for example, maybe somebody left my life when I was at a certain age, and ever since then, I don't trust anybody. And so I'm always looking for somebody to not be honest with me, right? I don't trust what they're saying. I'll go along with the flow, but I'm really waiting for them to show their true self. That's a problem. because you have real honest people in your life, but you end up sabotaging that relationship because of that issue, because somebody abandoned you. The person that you were supposed to rely on, you was 10 years old. And then every relationship after that has not been great. That's going to reinforce those effects. And so then you're going to find yourself in this cycle. And that's what I'm saying. Unclear and vague expression, not saying exactly what you need or mean, leaving the room misinterpreted. So that makes you feel devalued, misunderstood. Sometimes it's not because of other people. Sometimes it's because you have not learned to, if you're still trying to find your identity, that can be the underlying reason why you have a problem expressing yourself. You're still finding your voice, so to speak. Oh, you still battle with fear and heavy insecurity. So you feel like whatever you have to say is not going to be valued anyway. And even if you feel like you do got something that's great to say, that thought, that distorted thinking in your head will say, they're not going to listen to me anyway. So you see what you just did? You just shut everything down and you didn't even give yourself a try. Instead of moving past that, whether they agree or not, at least you got to express yourself and talk about what's on your heart. You need to know how to do that in relationships, or you'll never have good relationships where you can have healthy arguments and debates. Okay. Number 5, listening to respond instead of listening to understand. A lot of you know this already. We're ready to come back with it. You missed everything the messenger just said because you're defensive. So your reaction is defensive and kind of maybe aggressive. So you missed everything because you already, what happens is in that time, you've created a whole narrative based on your lens, your distorted thinking. And therefore, you're going to be having this argument back and forth, never hearing the other person because you are too emotionally heightened at the moment and you're defensive. So you cannot hear clearly. Like I said, your brain is not registering it because you're emotional. This is the stuff we got to work on that's behind. This is the noise behind your poor communication. We're going to talk about how to get healthy, get better at communicating in a healthy way. Because these issues, again, they sabotage all kinds of situations from relationships and all these things. So we're going to talk about the challenge. You're going to keep following the channel. So this way you can see either a post I'll put up or another quick video about when we're about to start this challenge. Is going to be this month within the next 2 weeks. I'm just narrowing down the days and I'm getting my stuff together. And okay, I have the content already, of course, because again, I do this in sessions, but I'm trying to create a course as well, but you guys get to partake of it for free and get help here on YouTube. Okay. I'm going to do right here on the podcast, Get Your Life Back with Cheryl podcast, but I'm going to be saving a lot of the videos to put inside the course that other people are going to pay for, because we are really going to talk about some real strategies that are going to help you and other people that you know, right? But they're going to pay for, because it's going to be a whole course with a lot of videos and worksheets and workbook and a Facebook group, private group, to create a safe emotional space so that you can continue to grow. Hey, and we can grow and help each other together. Okay. That's really all I wanted to say about this. But that's the reason why I'm creating this challenge, Healthy Talk and Helpful Thought Communication Challenge is the name of it. And I think it's going to be for about 3 days. So get ready for a 3-day journey. I may add in a bonus day. It all depends on how much stuff we get done within the 3 days, right? And then I will let you know more about the online workshop that you can become a part of to get more help and even get some one-on-ones in there where I will help you one-on-one as your helpful. I'm also a relationship coach. So, mental health really and life purpose, you help people in different areas. And there's areas I specialize in and I've practiced and I've learned. I have a undergraduate degree in human services counseling with children and families. I have a master's degree in human services counseling with marital relationships and premarital relationships. I have a master's in theological studies with a concentration in pastoral ministry. And I'm working on my doctorates in pastoral counseling. And I'm certified. I forgot to say that. I'm a certified pastor. I think I did say that, pastoral counselor as well. And so my focus has been a lot on relationships and improving them. And that's the part I want to add. That's how I am contributing in society. But anyway, guys, so I'm built. If you want to visit the academy, you can. I am still uploading things because I move all of my courses and coaching programs from one platform to the next. And so I have about maybe 2 programs up there now, membership, and 3 books that I've written. So if you go to Get Your Life Back Academy, you will see that the link is in the description as well. And I have a bestseller book on Amazon, and that talks a lot about my life, the things, excuse me, guys, the things I have overcome myself, how I overcame them. Okay. And it is spiritually based as well. But I share a lot in that book. Okay, I share a lot childhood traumas in that book, and you'll get to understand me more if you read the book. My book is called Let Me Out. Let me out. All of those, I knew that I had some treasures and some dreams and visions that were lying dormant inside of me. And my thing is, God, help me get these things out. In spite of what I've gone through, I need you to help me birth these things. And so I talk about that book. That book took me about, I think, 8 years to write because I prophesied in a book. When I started that book, I didn't even have a high school diploma. And I said, by the time I finish this book, I will have my degrees. Okay. That's exactly what happened. So I'm kind of taking you on a journey with me, and you're seeing my matriculation up to this point. Well, almost this point, because that book was published in 2011, I believe. And then I added a little bit of more stuff to it. So, and it became a bestseller. I didn't realize it came Amazon bestseller. Okay. People in my community was like, girl, go to Amazon. I was like, oh my God. You can imagine, because that was one of my dreams too, to at least write that first paperback book. Oh my God, that's a whole nother thing. But guys, I'm going to go. Thank you so much. Don't forget to become part of the Get Your Life Back tribe. I want you to be part of this challenge, and I want you to pull some people in your community and family that needs to take this communication challenge. Because just like, God, they need some help. They need to sit in here. They need to get these strategies, because I'm tired of talking to this person and they're not getting it. And maybe they need to hear from somebody they do not know, because that's how we are sometimes, because maybe you're too familiar with them, and so they can't receive from you. So they need to hear it from a person they don't know, who's neutral, right? Not emotionally connected. It's hard sometimes for us to, and sometimes we may worry about shame and feeling guilty and stuff when we trying to, help, well, people that we're trying to help may feel that way. Okay. All right. See you guys later. Bye bye.